What up guys, TC here as always. How you guys doing? And welcome to another Battlefield 3 episode. This time some rush on Metro with one of the subscribers, DC here. Me and him were tanning, well not really tanning, we were playing pretty well on Metro, but I kept getting kicked for no real apparent reason. As he said, I just had to join the game back there. And it's obviously this is going to be the topic of the video. This is going to be about obviously private servers, but the abuse of power by admins. I wasn't hacking, I wasn't camping, I was playing the objective, and I think it was purely because I kept killing the admins. So this is really just going to be about, the video is going to be about, what do you think about these powers which admins have? Should there be sort of like a rep system which they should put in place for BF4? Or should they get rid of private servers in general? Because obviously if you play on a DICE server, you don't get any of that. You can just play the game how you like. But I'm sick of playing games where they've got a list of rules, which practically means you can't do anything. And sometimes it makes finding a good game that much harder. As I say, me and DC were here, were really playing the objectives. It was really to and fro, and it actually was a very good game. But I was standing my own. I kept getting killed by the admin in terms of I'd get a kill streak of about 3 or 4, and they wouldn't take lightly to it, or they wouldn't. They must have been annoyed at me killing them, and yeah. So I was actually kicked 3 or 4 times, and then actually banned from this server for no apparent reason. And it was annoying because, as I say, we were playing a good game, and we'd managed to get a couple of good games before that, which you'll be seeing in the near future. But it just really annoys me when you're really just getting penalised by the admins because you keep killing them. That's not really in the spirit of the game. And the rules which some admins put on, or some owners of servers put on there, the owners of the servers, the rules which they put on it are sometimes ridiculous, because it's, say you've got Caspian border and you've got jets and helicopters on that map, and they're saying you can't use Stinger or Iglas, and that's because because they're noobs and not very good at flying, and they want this unfair advantage, and B, because obviously they don't want to get killed. And I don't think it's really conclusive to the spirit of Battlefield, where you're nerfing everyone's use of weapons, when really if it's very available on the games, sure, some things are more OP than others, but be prepared to up your skill level and play against people who have the potential to kill you. And it's stupid really, where you can't use shotguns on certain maps, and it really just means you're just stuck with an assault rifle battle, which obviously I always almost play with the M4A1, but today I'm playing a medic and playing with the AK-47M? Oh, I'm not too sure. But yeah, what are your thoughts, guys? Would you prefer to see in Battlefield 4 servers which are entirely DICE run, in the fact that yes, they're put up by DICE and it's pretty much every man for himself in terms of the weapon choice? Or are you happy with the way it's run at the moment, where sometimes you can get kicked for no reason? Or obviously team balancing is perfect, there's nothing wrong with that, and I can see the huge benefit in which it has to the game, but again, that can be abused if the admins are getting beaten. Like, I can't really tell by the score, but they're beating us here at the moment. But as soon as the tide sort of turn, they get a little bit hissy-fitty and sort of swap everyone round, so they're in the lead, and it really does ruin the game for me. So I'd love to hear your views on this, because it's the one thing which is probably the one downside to Battlefield, is the fact that you can get kicked all the time for no apparent reason. On the second half of the video is going to be on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One video which Hoose put up. I hope you guys are enjoying the content, by the way. Me and Hoose are loving the feedback in which we're getting. again, it's still a trial and error period as to what you guys are wanting to see, but the overwhelming like supportive feedback which you guys are giving us is spurring us on no end. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents into the into sort of the arena. I personally am going for the PlayStation 4. That is because I've always stuck with Sony. As Hoose did, I'm just going to quickly go through my console history. Did I have a Mega Drive? I think I did have a Sega Mega Drive. And then obviously your handheld Game Boys to have Pokemon. If you didn't have one of those, where is your childhood? But I then got a PS1, followed by a PS2, followed by the PS3, and it's also going to be followed by the PlayStation 4. The reason why I've always stuck, and I've had a PSP as well, the reason why I've always sort of stuck with Sony is because I've never really had a bad experience with them. Their quality is always brilliant. I've had my PlayStation 3 since July 2007, and not once has it broken. Not once have I had to send it into Sony to get anything wrong. It's an original 60 gig one, so I don't know if there's disparity in the quality between that and newer editions, but as I say, I've never had a bad experience. And this time around, from the sort of the communications which they're sending out, Sony just seems to be absolutely steamrolling Xbox in terms of this latest generation. Now obviously we'll only really be able to tell if that is the case once things are all released and you get to grips with the actual hardware and software which they release. And I see a lot of people commenting on our videos saying get a gaming PC, and I have a MacBook, so obviously I'm very limited to what I can play. This is another time when I get kicked. I don't know why I get kicked here. Anyway, sorry. And it's just one sort of gaming platform which has never really managed to grab my attention, and the one game I have played is you're gonna laugh at this. There you go, got kicked there. The one game I have played is Age of Empires. Now that is a sort of staple for childhood gaming, and is it really gaming? I don't know, because I used to just create scenarios and just let the computer do the work. But gaming PCs they're probably just as expensive as this latest generation. If you're wanting a decent one, you're definitely going to spend upwards of £500, no doubt, because you've got to buy not only the hard drive, the CPU, all that jazz, but also a good mouse and a good keyboard. You're pretty much on console, you're pretty much going to get everyone on a level playing field in terms of their peripheral roles, peripheral sort of gadgets in terms of like their controllers and whatnot, apart from obviously the Scuff gaming controller which we've covered in previous videos. But with PC there's so many different mods which you can do in terms of your keyboard setup, your mouse setup, that sometimes I do think if you're not willing to spend whatever amount, you're going to be put at a instant disadvantage. So console gaming is, for my eyes personally, is something which is, it's level, it's fair, and you're only ever really going to be tested against other people's skill and internet connection. So when people say blindly, oh, just get a gaming PC, I don't always see the argument there. Yes, it's a statement, but give me some pointers. What's better about a PC than next generation consoles? People go, oh, you can play 64-man servers, but you can do that in the next generation. Personally, I also find I do a lot of work on the computer daily, in the fact that I'm currently studying a master's. I'm always on a laptop or a PC typing, and I don't really want to spend the rest of my time looking at the keyboard. I like holding the controller. I know you can get peripherals which are controllers for PCs, but I don't know, I just think the Sony offering this time is so much better in my eyes. So guys, let me down below, let me know what you're going to get on this next generation thing. Are you going to stick with the gaming PCs? If so, why? And are you going to get the PlayStation 4, Xbox 3, Xbox One, or just stick with current gen? Personally, I'm graduating this year, and I've had, as I say, I've had my PS3 for 6 years, and I think it's time for a treat, a little graduation present, a little birthday present, and so I'm gonna treat myself to the PlayStation 4, so I should get it release day. But that's just my 2 cents. So quickly, as a sort of overview, what are your thoughts on private servers for Battlefield 4? Should DICE get rid of them and solely have DICE-controlled servers, or should we keep them but be able to have like a rep system? So if you're constantly getting kicked for no apparent reason, and you do get banned, you can leave a sort of feedback rating onto that server, in which you can warn future gamers that, look, this is only a 3-star rating server. Yes, often the teams are balanced, but you can often get kicked for no apparent reason. Anyway, guys, this is TC, pretty much summing that up, and yeah, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the servers, your thoughts on the consoles, and as always, leave a like, favourite, and a comment, and if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter for random updates now and then, and I shall see you in the next video. See you later, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, quality is to create a lot of people have left the game as well.
Fucking smash that so hard.